recorded investigations held with Entity 10, Anomaly 0 and Anomaly 1, on the subject of the Prototype 9 case, conducted by Assistant at the Project Zero Research Department, Scott Agnello, October 15, 2000.
Is it going?
Yep. Now you.
Ox. Alternatively, auxiliary. Now throw your questions at me, I'm ready.
Well then, I like the enthusiasm. Alrighty, so do you happen to remember anything from April 3rd, 2000?
Okay. I think I was in a room. I remember seeing this weird painting that had almost an empty space with a swirl in the middle, which was covered in mirrors. Not normal mirrors, but the funky ones that mess up your face. Oh, it was so weird. I think I also saw M, which is funny because I almost never see them outside the main office or hallways, which, speaking of, in the hallways, I always see these massive strings clumped up. Like we need to put a sun kit over, but you're in a really big rush. And that's not oil, which I'm not sure why we need that. But anyway.
Okay, just calm down for a minute. Now, since you seem to like to talk about your surroundings, is there anything peculiar about that lab of yours?
Huh?
Well, you know, the lab where you and all your past versions were made.
I'm sorry, I don't really get what you're saying.
Okay. We'll get back to that question in a moment then. Do you know anything about Anomaly 1 and its past?
Who?
Janky?
Oh, yeah, that guy. I almost never see them in DBH. I think they were another backup force and never got around to being called. I hear about them from M, though, but it's never good news. And those two seem to talk a lot, so you should probably ask them about it instead.
So, that's it? Nothing about, I don't know, Prototype 9, or even any incidents in general? Are you even sure you're getting what I'm talking about? Because I feel like we're on completely different wavelengths.
I mean, I don't know what they told you, and no one really tells me about anything. M says it's for the better, though, and I believe them. I'm an entertainer. It's what I've been doing for as long as I can remember. I'm sure whatever I'm not told isn't important to my job.
Hold on. Just look at these photos. Does anything from here look familiar to you?
No, not at all. That's not me. That isn't me. I don't know what kind of joke this is, but I don't find it funny. I'm sorry, something doesn't feel right.
Are you okay?
I think I need to, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go. This isn't right. None of this is right. That's not me. I don't know what that is, but it is not me. I know I don't look like that. That never happened to me!
Okay. Name, please.
Anomaly 0, codename M.
So, I heard from the others that you're more knowledgeable. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, basically, I just want you to run through pretty much everything you know about Anomaly 1, Prototype 9, and any other major incidents that we could learn from.
For what?
Well, and do you know why you're here?
Yes, to tell you about Channel 0.
Yeah, so could you, cooperate with that?
You still didn't answer my question.
Look, I'm just trying to get through with my job. If you have any questions about that stuff, then you should check in with that heart guy.
Okay.
Alright, good. Can you start off with Anomaly 1?
JK or Anomaly 1 isn't in the right headspace.
Would you mind elaborating on that?
I knew JK before they were called Anomaly 1. JK was always different. They were more capable of being human than anyone else in the troop. Physically and mentally.
You say that, and yet you were all robots, yes?
Except for Entity 0.
Right, and can you tell me specifically who else was in the troop?
It was me, Janky, all prototypes 0 through 9, and Entity 0.
Okay, you're doing good. Now, something we've been trying to dig at for a while is the Prototype 9 case, April 3rd, 2003. Do you know anything about that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, of course you don't. Right. So, why don't you want to talk about it?
I always thought it was easy for humans to sympathize.
Listen, I've heard good things about you from my coworkers, so I'm sure you have a very good reason to act like this. I'm also aware you're not a fan of talking much in general, so I don't know, just a few words on this will do.
Prototype 9 was my friend. Jiggy took that from me, and I had to watch it happen. And since you want to know about this so much, I want you to imagine what it's like, having someone you've known since the day you were old enough to remember, being ripped and twisted away from you, having to see every movement made by the body, and the ones with their fingers tightly wrapped around its limbs, the body making a shrieking noise. The hands continue to embrace the cracking metal. Now imagine if all of this has one day turned into some sort of science project.
I'm sorry, I didn't...
I'm done.
Wait, just hold on. Do you know what Entity 10 meant by any of this? Like, can you decode it or something?
Decode?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to assume any of this is literal, so...
If you thought most of the things Oxa said were obscure anagrams, you're severely misjudging their intelligence.
Oh. Right then, you can leave, I guess. Ugh. State your name and a reason to make my job worse.
Why, that's certainly an impertinent introduction. My name is quite a conundrum. The name given to me is Jakey. Some refer to me as an anomaly, which I must state does feel a bit insulting. The title I myself prefer, though, is the Eliminator.
Right. Yeah, I think I'll stick with calling you Anomaly 1 or whatever.
And I assume that's what you're ordered to do by your boss.
Ordered is a bit dramatic, but sure. And now, we've been investigating cases that you've been involved with, more specifically the one with Prototype 9. We figured asking you personally would be the best source.
Yes. What were you hoping for, precisely?
What actually led you to this? From what we were told, you had a motivation, didn't you?
That's indeed correct. I only wish to be perfect. This Prototype 9 was the symbol of perfection. I was able to shape myself like I was one of its own. When you are being watched, having oceans of eyes glaring upon oneself, your mind will exhibit an odd sense of consciousness. You are on a stage. Alongside you are your so-called compeers. Those eyes are no longer facing you, but one person only. One character, one puppet, one pawn. You will begin to extol this empty vessel, shining glory down on this hero they don't even know, deprecating you to nothing but a supporting character. You can't have a hero without a villain, and that may be what I am. At least that's what it seems like to you, doesn't it? I confess, I did in fact kill this hero, but this hero you speak of was never even alive in the first place. Just another product from the devil. Couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't feel. I do not view myself as a bad person, quite the contrary. The creation of Ox was a sin. I am the saint that descended to correct our birth-giver's wretched mistakes, while blessing myself in the process. 2 birds, 1 stone. Eventually, word caught on of this quote-unquote twisted mindset of mine. It locks me up, a decaying dove in a cage, forever to rot. But I was saved from this. I was given a purpose. I had a position, and it was to rid the world of its gratuitous flaws. In their turns, I am the one who is summoned when something is already broken, to put it out of its misery. Then, my beloved savior arrives and disposes of it. You wanted my story, and I delivered. Wrong.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah, I'm glad you were able to cooperate better than the others. I think we have most of what we're looking for.
I wish you luck on your future endeavors.
I wasn't even finished, though.
Okay, I got this. Just breathe. Whew. Alright.
Ah, Scott. Is there anything I can help you with?
Mr. Hart, I just finished organizing data from my recent investigations, and there's some stuff that doesn't line up with our sources.
Is that so?
Well, yeah. First off, I think we should correct the notes we have on Entity 10's mannerisms and its figures of speech, not to mention Anomaly 1's ideals.
Yes, I believe I have that covered.
Are you sure? I mean, with all due respect...
Scott, just stop. You are not in a position to question me. And last time I checked, you failed to even achieve half of the objectives for this investigation. Would you mind explaining that to me?
Okay, so, listen. The subjects were obviously in a state of distress, and I tried to squeeze some answers out of them, but I couldn't.
I know you're a kind-hearted man, but you're talking to robots. You don't need to care about how they feel. All you had to do was focus on your goal, and you failed.
I understand.
You're dismissed. Also, tell Annabelle they're behind schedule. Way behind schedule. And remind Lawrence to pick up some stuff from the archives, would you? Sorry, it's just that she's always forgetting things like this.
Yes, sir.
He's pissed, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, if you keep avoiding her, you're gonna get fired.
Ugh, yeah, I know that. I'll turn in my work last second. It'll be fine.
Well, alright. See you later then.
Bye!